Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have Sports News episode 56. So we will be covering the four major sports plus college football. So to start off with the NBA, Nuggets and Michael Porter Jr. agree to a max contract extension, 5 years, and that can be worth up to $207 million. Zion Williamson had foot surgery this offseason, but he should be ready for the start of the season. Bulls forward Patrick Williams has a severe left ankle sprain, and he's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Pacers guard Karis LeVert has a stress fracture in his back and might miss the start of the regular season. NHL, Sabres remove Jack Eichel from the captain role after failing a physical. The preseason started. The regular season begins October 12th. And the 2022 Winter Classic will be played on January 1st between the Wild and the Blues. And it will be played at Target Field, which is home of the Minnesota Twins. Giants first baseman Brandon Belt has a fractured thumb, and he's expected to miss 4 weeks. So hopefully it doesn't impact the Giants too much on their run through the playoffs or their battle against the Dodgers for the NL West title. The Cardinals' winning streak hit 16 games. That's the longest by any team this season. Rays rookie shortstop Wander Franco is 2 games short of tying an all-time on-base streak by players under 21 years old. So the all-time leader is Frank Robinson, who's 43 game streak, and Franco's currently 41 games. The Mets shut down Jacob deGrom for the rest of the season. A very smart move by the Mets. They don't want him getting hurt now and then missing most of the next season with an injury. So, good move by the Mets. Teams that have clinched a playoff spot: the Rays have clinched the AL East. The White Sox clinched the AL Central. The Brewers clinched the NL Central. And the Dodgers and Giants have both clinched a playoff spot, but are still fighting for the NL West title. Races to watch in the final week: the AL wildcard. So if the season ended today, the Yankees would host the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. But the race, there's still 5 teams left in the AL wildcard race: the Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners, A's, and Red Sox. The Yankees and Blue Jays are currently playing a very important 3-game series. And the A's and the Mariners are playing a 3-game series. Now with the A's and Mariners series, both teams are kind of a long shot at this point. And if one team doesn't sweep the series, both of those teams essentially have no chance. So, if 2 teams tie for the top spot in the wild card, the team with the better head-to-head record gets the top spot and would host the wild card game. But if 2 teams tie for the second spot, then there would be a 163rd game, and the winner of that game would move on to the wild card. So, for example, if the Yankees and Red Sox tied for the second wild card spot, which I don't think will happen, the Yankees would go to Fenway Park and play a 1-game, and if they win, they would go on to the AL wildcard game against whoever happens to be the first seed. But I think wildcard spot 1 will be the Yankees, wildcard spot 2 will be the Red Sox. The National League East, the Atlanta Braves have a 2.5-game lead over the Phillies. The Braves and Phillies play a 3-game series starting today. If the Braves sweep the Phillies, they clinch the division. And in the case of a tiebreaker is needed, it would be played at the Braves' home stadium, Truist Park. I think the Braves are going to end up winning the NL East. And the Giants and Dodgers, the Giants currently have a 2-game series lead. A 2-game lead over the Dodgers. And for this one, in the case of a tiebreaker, it would be played at Oracle Park, home of the Giants. Padres are probably going to be the team deciding this because they play both the Dodgers and the Giants in their final 6 games. So I think the Giants end up winning, and the Dodgers will host the NL wildcard game. So my predictions for the AL, the first seed I have the Rays, then Astros, White Sox, Yankees, and Red Sox, and the NL I have the Giants, then Brewers, Braves, Dodgers, and Cardinals. Because the Cardinals are currently on a 16-game winning streak and apparently have forgotten how to lose. The best teams in the league are the Giants, 102 and 54, Dodgers, 156, and the Rays, 97 and 59. The worst teams, the Rangers, 57 and 99, the Orioles, 50 and 106, and the Diamondbacks, 50 and 106. Some NFL injury updates. Broncos wide receiver KJ Hamler has a torn ACL and will miss the rest of the season. Patriots running back James White may go on the injury reserve after suffering a hip subluxation Sunday. A.J. Brown, Titans wide receiver, is currently listed week to week with a hamstring strain. And good news for the Titans is they have Julio Jones, one of the best receivers in the league, who can easily step up and fill A.J. Brown's role if Brown does have to miss time. Christian McCaffrey will avoid the injury reserve according to coach Matt Rule, but he will miss a few weeks with a hamstring strain. The NFL is reinstating Josh Gordon, and Gordon is signing with the Chiefs, so this makes the Chiefs' offense even more dangerous than it already is, and you really wouldn't see that because the Chiefs are actually 1-2, so I hope they turn it around because I predicted them in the Super Bowl this year. Justin Tucker hits a game-winning 66-yard field goal against the Lions, and that was a NFL record for the longest field goal ever made. Panthers rookie cornerback J.C. Horn suffered a broken foot in their Thursday Night Football win over the Texans. And the Panthers want to have a strong secondary because they went out and traded for cornerback C.J. Henderson from the Jaguars. So the Panthers are getting Henderson and a 5th-round pick, and the Jaguars are getting tight end Dan Arnold and a 3rd-round pick. Giants linebacker Blake Martinez suffered a torn ACL in the loss to the Falcons. And Bears coach Matt Nagy said all 3 quarterbacks, Nick Foles, Justin Fields, and Andy Dalton, are in contention to start Sunday against the Lions. So I think it should be Justin Fields starting. He's definitely the best of the 3, especially with his rushing ability, the dual threat. They need to have better play calls, and while he did get sacked 9 times, I think they do need to call better plays, more read options, designed runs, plays, more designed quarterback run plays like that. College football, Oregon dominates against Arizona, 41-19. Alabama destroys Southern Mississippi, 63-14. And Alabama, Jameson Williams, is the first player to ever have 2 kick return touchdowns in one game, and that's including 1 kick return touchdown on the game's opening kickoff. Georgia dominates against Vanderbilt 62-0. However, they were up 35-0 at the end of the first quarter, and Vanderbilt was only able to put together 77 total yards of offense in the entire game. Notre Dame destroys Wisconsin 41-13. So this was kind of a revenge game for Notre Dame quarterback Jack Cohen. So Cohen used to be Wisconsin's quarterback until he suffered a foot injury. And Graham Mertz, current Wisconsin starter, took over. And then Cohen transferred to Notre Dame. However, in this game, Jack Cohen left with a lower body injury. And Notre Dame ended up playing with a 3rd-string quarterback because backup Tyler Buckner was already out with a hamstring injury. So 3rd-string quarterback Drew Pine came in the game, and he went 6 for 8, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Wisconsin quarterback Graham Mertz had a horrible game. 18 for 41, 240 yards, a touchdown, first of the season, and 4 interceptions. Also a lost fumble, so 5 turnovers for Mertz. The Notre Dame defense looked very good. 2 pick sixes, a forced fumble, 4 interceptions, and holding Wisconsin to 13 points, so I was very impressed by Notre Dame's defense. And Notre Dame kick returner Chris Tyree returned a kickoff for a key score that really put Notre Dame up and put them in control of the game early in the fourth quarter.
Van Dyke kicks it off. Picked up. Tyree. Here's Tyree with the lane. Tyree! Whoa! Can he get there? Tyree at the 30, 20, 10, touchdown, Notre Dame!
Oklahoma avoids an upset with a 16-13 win and a walk-off field goal against West Virginia. Again, another Oklahoma game closer than it should have been. Spencer Rattler went 26 for 36, 256 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Arkansas upsets Texas A&M 20-10. Now Arkansas face a big test as they go on to play number 2 Georgia. And Arkansas took a early 10-0 lead in the first quarter with an 85-yard touchdown pass. North Carolina State upsets Clemson 27-21 in double overtime. So Clemson was nearly upset last week by Georgia Tech, and they were upset this week by NC State. And this is the first time Clemson has fallen out of the top 10 in the AP poll for the first time in 97 weeks. That's a long time. And NC State could have won the game at the end of regulation. However, they missed a field goal, causing Clemson and NC State to go into overtime. And NC State ended up winning the game anyway in overtime, double overtime. Baylor upsets Iowa State 31-29, and in this game we had another kick return touchdown. So that is number 4 of the week, and we're still not done because we still had more kick return touchdowns. Georgia Tech upsets North Carolina in a blowout win. They won 45-22. So Georgia Tech almost upset Clemson last week, and they ended up blowing out North Carolina in a big upset this week. North Carolina doesn't look that good this season because they had 2 upset losses, one to Virginia Tech in the season opener, and now they got blown out by Georgia Tech this week. Auburn avoids an upset against Georgia State with the 34-24 win heading into the fourth quarter. Auburn was down 24-19. Auburn played great defense in the second half, not giving up a single point, and they ended up coming back to win, and they converted a key 4th and 9, which ended up winning them the game. And our final kick return touchdown happened when Oklahoma State upset Kansas State 31-20. And as I just mentioned, there was another kick return touchdown. So 5 total kick return touchdowns. So that is pretty crazy. And in the Ryder Cup, the U.S. wins 19-9. That is the most points ever by a team in the modern era of the Ryder Cup. And U.S. player Jordan Spieth hit an incredible shot, almost going in the hole, while Spieth almost fell in Lake Michigan. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you later today for my week 3 NFL recap.